using some crispy, spicy chickpeas, and this is really great for those of you who have that savory or salty craving at night and you just want something nice and crunchy. So I've just lined a cutting board with some paper towel and I drained my chickpeas. I'm using some reduced sodium chickpeas or garbanzo beans, and this is by Bush's Best. I like to get the kind that is reduced sodium, that way I can control the amount of salt that's going into the food. So I drained my chickpeas and I'm using 2 cans. Just gonna pour them out right onto my cutting board. A few little runaways here. So I'm just gonna lay them out nice and flat, and I have my oven preheating right now to 425 degrees. And then I'm just gonna take another layer of paper towels and dab them so they're nice and dry when I pop them in the oven, because if you don't get the moisture out of them, they can be like soggy and they won't be as crispy. Okay, so now that I've taken the moisture out of my chickpeas, I coated my pan with some olive oil and I'm going to put the chickpeas on there, drizzle them with a little bit more olive oil, add about a teaspoon of salt, and roast them, and this will get them nice and crunchy and crispy. And then when we take them out, I'll coat them with my spices, and I'm using onion powder, chili powder, cumin, and this spice blend. This is from Raw Spice Bar. They have a bunch of really unique spice blends, and this one's nice and smoky, spicy. It's an Ethiopian blend, but I thought that it would taste really good with these chickpeas, so I'm going to try this one out. And yeah, let's do this. Okay, our chickpeas are out of the oven. They're nice and crunchy and crispy. Now I'm just going to add our spices. Just sprinkle it all over. Make sure they're nice and coated. And this is going to give it that nice spicy, smoky flavor. Okay. And then I'm just going to toss it. Make sure all the flavors are molded together. Woohoo! Here we go. Alright guys, so we're going to be making one of my all-time favorites now, pizza. And I don't know if there's anybody else on this earth that loves pizza as much as I do, but I feel guilty sometimes when I eat it. So, to lighten it up a little bit, I'm making my own crust, and for the crust I'm just using ½ cup of quick cooking oats, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed, and 2 whole eggs. Now, I'm making this for 2 people. If it's just you, then just split it in half. So I'm going to crack the eggs in here. So I'm just going to mix this up until it's nice and combined. Okay, so now I'm just going to take our crust mixture and pour it into the bottom of a pan. And you don't need any oil for this. Now it's not going to look like your typical pizza dough, so don't be alarmed if you pour it out and you're like, oh my god, why is there so much liquid and it doesn't look like dough? So now that it's nice and spread out in the pan, I'm just going to pop it in the oven at 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's nice and firm. Okay, now that our crust is done, I can add the toppings, and I'm splitting this, so I'll be using some bell peppers, some spinach, onion, and this is chicken apple sausage. So I'm putting that on the side for my boyfriend, and then I'm gonna put shrimp on my side. And I'm using reduced fat cheese and just some regular marinara sauce. Okay, and now I'm just gonna sprinkle it with some Italian seasoning. And we'll pop it in the oven at 375 for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, now we're moving on to the sweets, one of my favorites. Super easy, and I'm gonna be making a chocolate chip mug cake. For those of you who don't know, mug cakes are like the greatest invention ever. You just throw some ingredients into a mug, pop it in the microwave for like 45 seconds, and voila! I have 3 tablespoons of whole wheat flour. You could use almond flour or like chickpea flour, whatever you might have on hand. And I'm just gonna throw that into my little dish. Sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm using coconut sugar. Then you'll also need an egg yolk and a tablespoon of melted butter, or you could use coconut oil. I'm actually using a dairy-free butter. Oh yeah, this is starting to look good already. Mix it up until it's nice and combined and kind of like cake batter or a dough. And I'm just going to kind of mold it in there so it's nice and flat. It's essentially like a big chocolate chip cookie. And you can put anything that you want in here. I'm just going to put some of these Enjoy Life dark chocolate chips, and they are dairy-free. You really don't need to measure this part. I'm just gonna put like a little handful. And now we're just gonna pop this in the microwave for 45 seconds, and when it comes out, you're gonna die. And oh my god, when it comes out, it is just like this chocolate chip cake gooey goodness. This will be so good with some ice cream. The next one is super simple, and it's great for those of you who have a sweet tooth. So I'm just using some Smart Pop popcorn that I've popped, and if you have more people, you can obviously make more. Some dry roasted unsalted peanuts, and I just put some of the vegan dark chocolate chips in here with about a tablespoon of coconut oil and melted it. So now it's nice and gooey. So now it's all ready to go.